On a day where the Brewers lose, my car's broken, and everything looks like it's going downhill. We get to
Wah,
play
wah,
Wake Up
wah.
with Will Mom edition till the day automatically gets brighter. Will Thomas, Sharon Type, my mother, join us for another episode. We have hit double digits, week 10. We're here. We're here
No
for a
way.
long
It's
time.
double digits
Double
today.
digits. This is the
This
10th
is
episode.
it. Oh my gosh. I was going to like have a cake or something. I totally lost count.
Yeah, we don't like cake on this show. We don't
We don't.
do
Oh, that's right. You don't like cake.
yeah, we don't like cake.
Well,
So we are
well,
definitely not
you like cake
starting.
with no frosting, right?
I just don't like cake. Give me some
Gosh, what is
brownies.
wrong with you? How do you even live in America and not like cake?
Yeah,
It's those weird fooded versions you got. Okay.
I'm a weird kid. Just
Wacky.
to all our YouTube videos. If you see a kid playing VR in the background of my mother's screen, that is just my little brother. He is.
He's wandering. Ty, come on and wander on over and wave to our guests and then describe yourself for those that listen on Spotify.
We see you're on. Hey
There you
Tyler.
go.
Hey
Hi,
buddy.
Ty. But I had to do this way because, okay, Aunt Ree got on me because last week I did not do Where Am I? I was
Yeah.
in our kitchen / family room,
Yeah.
because everybody else was every other place in the house. And so now I decided I want to be downstairs, not to rub it in the Brewers face because I'm a Brewers fan, but I had to show the cubby wall that we have, and that's all Bear stuff over there. But now we have our cubby, the pennant, because we don't talk about how many wins we have, right? Well, you taught me this last time. We talk about our championships, 2016.
So a kid,
There you
the
go.
Cubs fans live by is 2016. Like if Cubs
20
fans could pick a year just to live in, it'd be 2016.
over. God, I don't know if I'd like that year. I can't remember that year being that great.
Man, junior in high
Oh,
school.
were
Took a
you? I started my new job.
I would
No,
I
I
would have
didn't.
started senior year. I would have started senior year too.
Really?
First
You
first half of senior year, second half of junior year was 2016 for me of high school.
okay. Okay.
But
Well, yep. Well, for me, I don't have any really great standout memories. So there you go.
hey, you
I
didn't
think
have
I went to
cancer.
South Beach.
You didn't have cancer yet.
That was pre-cancer.
That was
So
pre-cancer. So
yeah, so you're
hey,
right. I should have good memories.
winner
Except
winner chicken dinner.
what?
I think we went to Florida that fall.
Yep, we went to in
2016.
2016. We went to that fall. Yep,
So hey,
and we have a picture of all you kids.
Will got to go play
Uh,
in the Chuck E. Cheese Playland again.
all about that. It's fun. Universal Studios rocked.
Yeah, a lot of
So
fun. A lot of fun down there in Florida, but not as fun as Wake Up with Will as we get
not
ready to start. A lot of fun this weekend. I will have to say, college football. I don't know how much you watched. I watched pretty much all day. Obviously, there were big games from 11 tonight.
I can't remember how much I watched. I know I watched it. Man, I got to start recording what I do on the
Well, I
weekend.
know you watched the Iowa
It's
game
on
because
all the time.
you were texting me about
Yes.
the Iowa game, so you definitely watched the Iowa game. But that wasn't
Yep.
even the best game to start the day. I have to say the best game to start the day was good old Ole Miss and Arkansas, because that came down to what we
Really.
talked about last week on the episode that happened in the Western game. Is do you kick the extra point to force overtime, or do you go for the win and go for two? Arkansas scored with 0 seconds left, needed the extra point to force overtime, decided they wanted to go for two, play for the win on the road, failed to convert 2-point conversion, and ended up losing by one.
I do remember that. I do remember that because we talked about it. You're absolutely right. Yeah,
But
well, sucks to be them. Should have made a different decision.
yeah, and
Wah, wah.
then the
Should've
Texas
kept it.
Oklahoma game. Holy cow! What a football game!
And what is Oklahoma won, right? No,
Yes.
Texas won. No,
No.
Oklahoma. Okay. Because Aunt Ree wanted Texas to win
Yeah.
and we
Texas-
wanted Oklahoma.
Texas
I have to
should have
look at our
won.
picks.
Texas should have won.
Okay.
They should
Texas
have won.
should have won.
They were up so big in that game. They were running. The announcers were talking about like the biggest blowout in history. And
Really?
Oklahoma benched their starting quarterback, Spencer Rattler, who was a Heisman favorite at
It's
the
a
beginning
big
of the year.
decision to make during a
Got
game.
benched. They brought in the backup stud. He came in, juked some people, threw a huge touchdown, brought him all the way back.
Uh-huh.
And Oklahoma ended up winning by 7. Like
Really?
it was.
I didn't remember all that. I know that they won. See, we were watching the game, but we were doing other things. I forget what in the heck we were doing. But Aunt Ree had to educate me, just so you know.
Yeah,
She educated me on everything that I was confused on. So what a Sooner is. Did you get that? It's
A
the name
Sooner?
given to a Sooner. We're all going to learn something right now. We're going
Okay.
to talk about soothing
New
reading
new segment. Education with Mom.
education. because you need to be educated. You can't fix stupid, but you can educate ignorant. So if we're ignorant on this, we're going to learn, be educated. A Sooner. Sooner is the name given to settlers who entered the unassigned lands in what is now the state of Oklahoma before the official start of the land rush of 1889. Then there's a whole bunch of other stuff. Who cares? That's a Sooner.
Nice.
Like, so that's a name. So once again, if we can make up names and give definitions, I'm sure at some point somebody was like, they nicknamed those people that, and then Webster decided to put in his dictionary with an actual meaning. Why can't Washington do that for their football team? Like, you just got to.
Hey, they're struggling. Leave Washington. Washington can't make their mind up in anything.
Washington can't. They don't even know who's in Washington.
They're not a state. They're not a state. They don't know.
Well, I don't think
confused.
they need to know.
They are confused on
They're
who they are.
Senile old people.
Their identity is a crisis right now. They're having an identity crisis. That's what we're going to go with.
We're going to go with.
Who do they want to be? Who do they want to be? They can't figure that out.
Sit down and think about that. It sounds like they need a retreat.
Yeah.
Maybe to a secluded island somewhere in the Atlantic. Put them all in the ship.
Put them in the Bermuda Triangle.
I do want to let you know that I do have some guests today that I wanted to bring on to the show, if that's okay.
Yeah, bring them on.
Okay. So it took a lot to get them here because they really are in high demand. But I thought it would be important that they come and give them, a little bit of insight on the game, how they felt, they lost, but how that went. So I have here the Seahawks. And then some of their fans. So I got Russell and the coach.
For all our Spotify listeners, my mother commented on Thursday Night Football last week as the highlighter game with the Seattle played because they wore their color rush neon green jerseys, and so she just pulled up a bunch of highlighters. I thought she was really bringing on real people here. I thought, okay, send them the invite, I guess. Who's Aunt Ree's finally getting? Aunt Ree's finally getting on the show. Like
Aunt Ree's not. I said ain't doing that.
She
can try.
Oh my God.
Nope. So yeah.
Hey, Russell, I'm going to ask you a question here. Can we see Russell? Russell, how's your finger doing? Is it okay after getting dislocated? Oh, you're going to be out a couple weeks?
I don't have any fingers. It doesn't have any fingers. Well, I couldn't find any green.
Russell, go ask Urban Meyer for a finger because it's probably up that girl's butt right now. So.
Oh, that's Urban right here. Yeah. Yeah. So those are my friends. We didn't have green highlighters though. Weird. That's what but yeah, what? I was so distracted during that game because of those uniforms.
Yeah.
All I remember thinking is, God, those are bright. God, those are bright. God, those are bright. They were bright, fluorescent green.
Yeah.
And back to the segment, let's learn something today. A Seahawk. I was right, according to Aunt Ree. Now, for those of you that don't know, Aunt Ree is actually my younger sister, Linda. Margie's my youngest. And Ree got the nickname because her middle name is Marie, that my sister Becky could never say Marie. So she always said Linda Ree when she was little. And so she's just got Aunt Ree. But where in the world is it? She told me what a Seahawk is because she's like, you were right. You're right. A Seahawk it's just a hawk. It has nothing special about it. Well, there it is. Yeah. So the Osprey, or more specifically, the Western Osprey, also known.
I don't think it's pronounced Osprey.
What is it?
I don't know, but it's definitely not Osprey.
Osprey.
It doesn't sound like it's an Osprey kind of word. I think it's funny. It's a funny pronunciation.
You think it's like French?
Yeah.
Like Osprey. Maybe
Osprey?
Maybe all the letters are silent.
Maybe it's an Osprey. Osprey?
Okay, we could have all the letters be silent and it's going to be also called a Seahawk, a river hawk, or a fish hawk. See, it's just a bird that they call a Seahawk because it's by the sea and it's a hawk.
Yeah, Washington's really struggling. They got water by them too. They could find anything.
Yeah, they could have had sea dolphins. Sea dolphins would be stupid because dolphins are in the sea. How about land dolphins?
How about the shellfish?
How about crabs? Oh, I bet you they got crabs. Anyways.
Yikes.
Let's move
Yikes.
on. They're playing in Beaver Stadium.
Mom,
Okay.
mom with an inappropriate joke already. We're just started. Where I was ready footing the immature.
Clean it up. That's
For some people, my mother is 46 years old. And yeah,
Thanks.
yeah.
I don't look it though. Tonight I do. I'm a little rough by the end of Tuesday night, early Wednesday morning.
46 years old, but she still thinks she's 22 sometimes with the jokes she makes.
I don't think I'm 22. I think I'm 24 or 21.
Yeah. Yeah. 24.
I'm young at heart and young in mind. You have to be young at heart and young in mind if you want to survive anything as an adult, because sucks.
You're throwing all the wisdom out today and wake up in this
quite wise
this episode. We haven't even really talked about sports, but I wanted to get back to college football because that's where we were going, and you decided to go on the highlighter game.
Well, I had guests. They had to go. They got to get on the plane and go back.
Yeah, got to get back. But
they're going. They're flying. They're flying home.
Oh, you froze. Okay. Look at you. You froze.
Oh, man.
Yeah, you froze.
Okay, hold on. I'll be back.
You'll be back. Mom froze. We're going to get back. Technical difficulties. She's with somehow she got on the plane with the Seahawks and the highlighters going back to Seattle. No. So like I was trying to talk to you before my mother interrupted me, you had the two great games in the afternoon. You had, or the 11 o'clock when you had Ole Miss, Arkansas, which came down to the wire. You had Texas. And I'm talking Texas, Oklahoma. But then you ran into another big game, the top 5 matchup of the week, the Iowa Hawkeyes and Penn State. And now there's a lot of controversy surrounding this game. And I want to hear your opinions on it.
Oh, gosh. I didn't know there was controversy. Okay.
The first thing is
I feel like every time there's controversy, it ends up with somebody being a butt munch.
Yeah. So obviously the first controversy is people are saying Iowa wouldn't have won the game if Penn State's quarterback stayed in the game.
Okay.
Which is awesome. Clifford was having a great game, had him up 14-3 before he got injured. And I agree. I think it would have been a different ball game. But let's remember, Iowa's defense is still Iowa's defense, and they really just turned up the heat. Yeah. Granted, when Penn State put in the backup, it changed the dynamic of the game, and Iowa's defense just went nuts.
They got some confidence.
The other controversy is if you go back and watch that game, after every big play, Penn State suddenly had an injured player who was on the ground.
You think they were copping out?
I'm not here to say if someone's injured or not, because for all I know, they could be really injured. I'm just saying, as a fan in a controversy, when your broadcasters are announcing, hey, after every 10-yard play, a Penn State's player is going down, and that's hurting Iowa gaining momentum. You start questioning, be like,
yes.
All of a sudden this guy's going down. He was fine, didn't get hit, went down. Trainers come over, talk to him a little bit, and then he hops right back and jogs off to the side of the field. Like, stretch out for a cramp. Like, I don't like.
So what's going on? You think they had the flu? Okay, so first of all, I know I learned this a long time ago from you and Dad. That football players will, I don't want to say fake an injury, but they will just be a little dramatic. So especially if a game's really not tough, but I mean, if it's
the momentum's changing, anything's kind of
so they have a way to kind of slow down the game, right? They do that. I'm like, that's a freaking fantastic idea. I would so be doing that all the time. I'd probably be like, oh wait, just old, got to work out the cramp, and then you go off and you come back on. It's a little annoying when it's so much because it really slows down the time of the game and it does get your timing off. But my whole thing would be, why would they have been doing it if they were winning? Like, why would they be faking injuries?
Because Iowa was like, you have a 15-yard run, you got the momentum, you want to go, you want to get back up to the line and snap it and get going. And now they slowed the play down, and now you're all of a sudden not playing for 5 minutes.
Oh. So it's a strategy. It's that psychological strategy.
Now, I'm not one to say that they were hurt. They weren't hurt. They could have been injured every time for all I know. Yeah. But I just think that's the first time I've ever seen an announcer, Joe Klatt, mention and brought it up that he was even noticing it. And normally, that's the first time I've ever seen it as a broadcaster say it. That's why it's brought to my attention.
What were they going off with? Were they going off with like muscle cramps, or were they going off? No,
because they weren't even getting stretched at the field. Normally, when you see a cramp, they like try to stretch it out on the field or something. No, they weren't even going off. They were just sitting there. They would go down, sit there for a little bit, and then hop up and run off the field.
I wonder if they ended up like with the flu or something. I don't know. I think that's really, I don't know, what a cop out. if they were faking it, that's not right. Play the game. I mean, you're there
Yeah.
to play the game. You're not there to be a whiny crybaby. Like, if you
I don't
want to
know.
be Sally, go sit on the bench. Play the game. So I don't know.
It
I
did not
don't.
matter. Did not matter because the
Yeah,
Iowa
the Hawkeyes,
Hawkeyes
they won.
won
They won. Well,
23-20.
they have really great offense. So I know the defense. I thought they did. They don't.
Did you just say that on Wake Up? What? Did you just say that the Iowa Hawkeyes have a good offense?
I don't know what I said. That was Russell. Russell, shut up over there.
Were you watching the football game? Did you watch the football game?
I thought they did. Well, I guess I thought they did because they came back from where they were at and scored and won.
You know who won that? This is who I'm going to tell you.
Won that game?
No. The punter won that game.
No doinks there.
6 punts inside the 12-yard line. 3 of them were inside the 3-yard line.
Wow. That's really close.
So you're making Penn State start at their 3-yard line 3 times, like inside their 3. I mean, that's
punts. I was thinking field goals. Okay.
No, punts.
Sorry.
But that's field position. That is crazy.
Because you want the ball to die before it gets in the end zone, because once it gets in the end zone, it goes all the way back to what, 25-yard for college or 20? 25. Okay.
College.
Because they changed that a while ago.
Yep. Correct. Yeah. Look at you.
Yeah, look at you. Me.
Bravo. Yeah, Tyler, get a pat on the back in there, please.
Oh, I don't think he's too busy killing zombies. He got a new game. It's Walking Dead. Yeah. I don't know. You boys really wrecked it for me because I used to not allow any of that stuff. And now Tyler's basically
an adult. He can do it every day. For all I knew, Tyler's doing keg races on Saturday nights, you know.
I don't think he's doing that. I don't think he's too busy running actual races on Saturday morning. So he's not doing that. I can guarantee. Yeah. He's too skinny for it. Yeah. Just that long, gangly.
But no, and then it went into Saturday night, the big game Saturday night. Number 1 Alabama. Nick Saban lost. Breaks multiple streaks. First of all, broke their winning streak were having. I think they were up in the 20s with.
Was it that much?
I'm pretty sure.
4. Now that you said it, it makes me think like I heard 24. Otherwise, before that, I thought it was 18.
Yeah, it's something like it's around the 20. It breaks the streak of Nick Saban never have lost to an assistant coach that was under on his staff one time, and it breaks 100-game streak of not losing to a non-ranked opponent.
Okay, I just gotta say something. Don't you think sometimes people in sports reach for something?
Oh, absolutely.
And it probably was the first game he ever lost on the 11th of October when the moon was waxing instead of
which fact do you think was reaching?
I think when you have to pull fact, like none of those are interesting. None of those are interesting facts at all.
He was like 49-0 against coaches that were on his staff that went on to head coaching that couldn't beat him. They pulled the same stats.
So basically, all the coaches that had worked for him, he's played against, and he's always won.
Yeah, this is the first time he's lost.
First time. Okay, so that's a cool one. I can work with that one, but that's it. Like the rest of them, I think that's. I mean,
it's Alabama. Anytime Alabama loses, they got to throw out all the. And this was the first time Alabama has lost by this many points by this score in 16 years. Like, I don't know. It brings in a lot of controversy though, because in a couple of weeks, college football playoff rankings will start rolling out. And as you know, the college football floor is the top 4 teams getting into the playoffs. So right now, the number 1 team's Georgia, Iowa's number 2, Cincinnati's number 3, Oklahoma's number 4, Alabama's number 5. So Alabama's sitting on the outside looking in.
Why is Alabama number 5? Why aren't they number 1?
Because they lost. Did you miss that whole point about they just lost? Their streaks got ruined because they lost.
Yeah, but they shouldn't be ranked 5 because of it. They've had all those wins. I think they should. Why are they? The other teams have lost.
How can you? No, they haven't. Georgia's undefeated. Iowa's undefeated. Cincinnati's undefeated, and so is Oklahoma.
Okay, that's why they're number 5. Okay, all right. I'll give it to them. I'll let it be. I will not be writing any letters to anyone.
How can you be the best team in college football if you lost? That means somebody's better than you. Because
I figured that you kind of look at everything, but apparently not. That's okay. I don't want Alabama to be number one anyways. I don't really like Alabama. Just
I
because
don't like Alabama.
I don't like Alabama. I just don't. So
But
let it be. I don't care.
I don't care. I don't like Alabama. I don't care.
You're trying to be Coach O. He's got to go. Don't do
Tigers.
Coach O.
Go Tigers.
Oh, we don't like LSU anymore because Coach O likes to spank the booty a little too much.
No, that's Urban.
No, both of them.
Both of them. Hey,
Going.
But yeah, so that was the big thing. So I want to hear. Do you think Alabama? I think Alabama's going to find a way to get back in the college football playoff. I just do. They'll find some way, and the committee is too much on their knees for Alabama.
Money, like they're going to bribe, like somebody's making special brownies.
No, God forbid if Alabama's not in the big stage. Like it's like Alabama's like the Dallas Cowboys. They'll they'll find any way to get them on primetime TV in front of the biggest stage in the biggest game, no matter what.
Well,
everybody in the college football committee is on their hands and knees, and Nick Saban's sitting there with his pants on the ground, and they're just sitting there like.
That's the William John. Clean it up. Brett Favre's song is "Pants on the Ground." You can't. That's hilarious. It makes me think of that. I don't know what Alabama. My whole thing is, I think we're still early in the season. Sorry, I do. So I think yes, I agree with you. I think Alabama will end up back ranked. It's one game. Yeah. Like everybody's crying into their tissues. It's one game. Hello, welcome to reality. They'll come back. I'm sure the other teams will not keep their record. They can't. Eventually, they got to play somebody and lose. Play each other. One of them's got to lose.
Well, not until Georgia and Alabama will most likely meet up in the SEC championship game, which will be the game that really is going to cause a lot of controversy. Because, say, Georgia goes into that game as, say, Iowa, Cincinnati, and Oklahoma go undefeated. So there's your 2, 3, 4. Georgia goes undefeated to the conference, to that national or SEC conference final. They play the 5th team Alabama, who already has one loss, and Georgia loses. So Georgia's the one seed. Keep
track of all that. Okay.
This is
Georgia loses.
So Georgia's number 1 team. They go play number 5 team Alabama in the conference championship. Okay. Alabama has one loss. Georgia has none. If Georgia loses that game, who gets in? Do they both get in? Because you would think Georgia's good enough that they should stay in it. But do you? We're
not doing participation ribbons for people.
But then do you say
one winner, one loser?
Yeah, that's not what I'm saying. And one will win the game, one will lose the game. But does one who gets into the college football playoff is what I'm trying to ask.
The winner of the game.
But this is the controversy. Why would Alabama, who has a one-loss team whose loss would be to Texas A&M, get in before Georgia, who was the number 1 team who beat all these teams, but their loss is to Alabama? You see what I mean? Like, that's where the biggest controversy is going to be.
That makes it so complicated.
Yes.
For heaven's sakes, just play a game. Do brackets. You do this in wrestling and other sports. You just make a bracket. Winner, loser. Sometimes you have an off day. Winner advances, loser doesn't. No. That's how it goes. Doesn't matter what your record was before.
This conversation is ending because you have no idea what you're talking about and you are so lost.
No, I'm not. The brackets.
You know what college football? Do you know what the college football playoff is?
Yes.
It's a bracket. But there's only 4 teams that are allowed in the bracket. So I'm talking about which 4 teams get into the bracket.
I know that.
You can't have a bracket to play into a bracket.
No, I'm just saying, don't have complicated conversations afterwards. If you get into the bracket, you have a winner, you have a loser, end of story.
But that's the conversation, is who gets into the bracket.
Well, whoever wins the game that takes the last spot.
But why would you? That's the whole controversy. Is how can you say a one-loss Georgia team who's only lost to Alabama in the conference championship is better than a one-loss Alabama team who lost to an unranked Texas A&M team?
Well, then, I can say they're better because if Texas is unranked, Alabama should have smoked them. So they should not get in. So right now, I decided it for them.
So right now, Alabama would. What if they beat Georgia?
Would not get in.
So then you're saying Georgia should still get in even if they lost to Alabama?
Why would they still get in if they lost to Alabama?
Because they're the number 1 team. That's what I'm trying to get at. That's what you're not getting right now.
Whoever wins that game should get in.
Okay. Interesting. Okay.
Whoever wins that game should get in. And people can't cry if it's not Alabama with the whole like, well, Alabama, their only loss was actually to Texas.
Well, if Alabama needs to win that game to get in. If they lose that game, they're not going to get it.
Yeah. So that the whole conversation's over. I feel like we just did. I feel like I was on a hamster wheel. The whole conversation.
You weren't taking the bait to get the discussion that I wanted to get to because you wasn't processing. You were a little slow. It's okay.
Well, because when you start to talk about all of the people having opinions and the ranking, the ranking system with football, with college teams really throws me for a loop. I'm like, why is that team ranked number 5? They haven't even played. Well, because of blah, blah, blah. And their coach and they have this player and that player. And
preseason, yeah.
Well,
Everything
yeah.
else is because of who they play and rank.
I don't give a crap. Put their shoes on, lace them up, and put them on the field. Let's see what they do. That's when you should rank. Everybody should be ranked after they play.
It's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
But you have to start with a ranking.
My whole thing is, again, William, you know how you settle it? Rock, paper, scissors.
I think that's what they should do. Best 2
out of 3 out there.
Don't even play the game. Just rock, paper, scissors. You know what would solve this issue? Mom, you want to know what would solve this issue? Moving from a 4-team playoff to an 8-team playoff.
Who's that?
Instead of 4 teams in the college football playoff, we add 4 more, and we get 8. You know what that means? More football.
Right.
We already have 4,000 bowl names. Like that.
I know. We have the toilet paper bowl. We have
Wake Up with Will's going to have a Wake Up with Will's going to be a bowl. Wake Up with Will bowl.
Because when I was a kid, we had the Orange Bowl, the Rose Bowl, and then the Tostitos Bowl.
You had the Cotton Bowl. You had the Cotton Bowl.
We had the Cotton Bowl. You're right.
You had the Sugar Bowl.
Okay.
You had
but for a while, I thought the sugar and the Cotton Bowl were the same thing because
2 different ingredients.
Yeah, they are. Don't mix them together and eat them. Not good. So we didn't have literally. There's 32 bowls now or something.
There's definitely probably more than 32.
That is the dumbest thing. Isn't that the epitome? That is the epitome of our society, making sure everyone feels like they're a winner. You have bowl games. How can you even get that many football teams that are good to play the bowl games? What's the stupidest name bowl game?
There were 35 bowl games, including the college football playoff scheduled for the 2020-2021 NFL season. So that's 70
NFL season?
NCAA football season, my bad. So that's 70 teams.
And how many I don't want to say how many college football teams are out there because I know there's more than 70. But isn't that
you have to be 500 to qualify for a bowl. You have to be 6-6.
Does that even mean you're good if you're 500? Really? I don't know. If I was 500 at work, I don't think my boss would be sending me to a bowl game. I'd probably be written up. You have to be more than 50%.
There's some.
I don't know.
I'm
doesn't make sense to me.
So
Stupid.
There's the Little Caesars Pizza Bowl.
That's cool if you get pizza at it. I remember that one. There's Tostitos Bowl because they used to have really good commercials.
That's a big yes, Tortilla Fiesta Bowl, but that's a big one. Pretty much any sponsor you can think of. Let me just think of.
They have the U.S. Cellular Bowl. Do they have the Trojan Bowl?
No, I do not.
See, not everything you can think of.
Here, you want me to name them for you?
Okay.
You got the Bahamas Bowl. You got the Cricket Celebration Bowl.
Time out.
Mexican Bowl.
Time out. Bowl. Where's the Bahama Bowl held?
In the Bahamas.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure they weren't in Idaho, we have the Bahama Bowl. Okay, what's the next one? Cricket Bowl?
You have, what is this? The Cure Bowl. The Cure Bowl.
What's the Cure Bowl? For curing cancer?
It is pink, so it might be for breast cancer.
Okay, keep that one.
You have the roofclaim.com Boca Raton Bowl.
What in the world is that?
That's a bowl played in Boca Raton, Florida.
I know. My cousin lives in Boca Raton.
You have the
I don't think she'll ever listen to High Body.
You have the New Mexico Bowl. You have the Independence Bowl. You have the Lending Tree Bowl,
Oh my God.
the LA Bowl, the R&L Carriers New
Do
Orleans.
they have the Alamo Bowl?
Yeah, that's actually a bowl.
Okay, I remember that one.
The Myrtle Beach Bowl, the famous Idaho
What?
Potato Bowl.
What? They got one in Idaho? That's what we need. I was going to say Idaho deserves a bowl.
Hey,
How about Montana?
This is going to be your favorite. The Tropical Smoothie Cafe Frisco Bowl.
Oh, what? Oh.
You have the Armed Forces Bowl. You have the Gasparilla Bowl.
What is a Gasparilla?
Don't ask me. I'm just naming. You got the Hawaii Bowl. You have.
Don't you just see like this is
Camellia
too much?
Bowl, Quicken Lanes Bowl, Military Bowl, Ticket Smarter Birmingham Bowl.
What is it? A Ticket Smart?
The Ticket Smarter Birmingham Bowl.
What is that even? I don't even. That must be a
The
thing.
Ticket Smarter's a brand, a company,
Okay.
and it's in Birmingham, Alabama. The game's played, so they just went Ticket Smarter Birmingham Bowl.
Oh my gosh!
People are creative. They're clever.
Like it's Ruth's Chris Steakhouse, but that's actually got a really good story behind it. So somebody should.
You got the Ruth First Responders Bowl. You have the
That's a good bowl.
Guaranteed Rate Bowl. You have
the guaranteed what?
The Guaranteed Rate Bowl.
Rate. Thank you for enunciating.
Yes, you have the
Otherwise, I thought maybe Michigan was going to be playing there.
You have the Fenway Bowl.
Fenway. That's cool.
You have the
played at Fenway Park.
It is. You have the Pinstripe Bowl.
What does that have to do? What?
Because they play at Yankee Stadium.
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
You have the Cheez-It Bowl.
I knew the Cheez-Its.
The Alamo
Those commercials
Bowl.
are getting really bad.
The Duke's Mayo Bowl.
The what? Duke's
Mayo Bowl.
Like the Duke's a Hazard?
No, like Duke's Mayo.
Is that a brand?
Yes.
Oh, I'm always with Miracle Whip. So
you have the Music City Bowl.
Guy, remember that one?
You have the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl.
That one. Well, see, now the Peach Bowl used to be the Peach Bowl. Now Chick-fil-A. Didn't Chick-fil-A have their own bowl?
No, Chick-fil-A just jumped in as a sponsor. You have the Las Vegas Bowl. You have the Tax Slayer Gator Bowl. My favorite, the Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl.
That's a good one. I like Tony the Tiger. He's made it. He's got to be working on like 60 or 70 years old.
Yeah, you have the Orange Bowl, the Cotton Bowl, the Outback Bowl, the Fiesta Bowl.
There you go.
You have the Citrus Bowl, the Rose Bowl, the Sugar Bowl, the Texas Bowl, the Holiday Bowl, the Red Box Bowl, the Arizona Bowl.
Red Box Bowl.
And then the National.
Everybody get a red box?
And you have the National Championship.
Yes, it makes the bowls. So here's the thing. This is where I think this has all been messed up for your generation and maybe the generation right below me.
Yeah.
This used to be exciting. Like when it was football bowl season, it was kind of like an extra Christmas.
Yeah.
It was like you were excited, like the anticipation. It was just like you watched the Sugar Bowl, you watched the Rose Bowl, you watched the Alamo Bowl. Now, like you could go on a Tuesday night and watch a bowl. It's not exciting. They have too many bowls. Back off the bowls.
Back it off.
Bring in some plates, bring in some saucers, get rid of the bowls. Too many bowls.
Too many bowls. Too many bowls.
7 teams to play. That doesn't make like. So you're the champion of the Cheez-Its Bowl. Like who really wants that trophy in their case for real?
Somebody somebody who just went from 6-6 to 7-6 because they won it.
Yeah,
that's who wants it. That's who wants it.
I want a big Cheez-It and we're gonna show it off when people come to.
No, I agree. I don't think what does it really mean? Like, congratulations, you're the winner.
It used to mean something.
You're the winner of the Bahama Bowl. Who the hell cares? I mean, for the teams that usually play it, that's a big thing because most of these teams, the goal is just to get bowl eligible. It's just to get into a bowl, so it is special for them. But as fans who watch, we're just we don't really care. We want to see the big games that matter.
You just made a point. It used to mean something to become eligible to get into a bowl, but you have 35 bowls. So if you're not eligible to get in one, did you show up to play? You
still got to get 6-6. Sometimes you can get maybe in if they're lacking 6-6 teams, because sometimes they don't have enough 6-6 teams. You got to go. They take 5 and 7 teams.
I think it goes along with the society we're creating that everybody deserves everything, and they don't know how to deal with failure.
Well, this is what it comes down to. Somebody's willing to pay money to
For a
sponsor a
bowl.
bowl.
Yeah,
And
go
you're like,
for it.
sure, we'll put 2 more teams on a plane. We'll take more revenue and the media rights. It's all a money game. For heaven's sakes, when
That works. That's
when
true.
we make it big, we're gonna have our own bowl.
We'll have a bowl. Have the
Yours.
Wake Up with Will Bowl.
Yeah, where do we want it to be played?
But we're gonna have it at night.
Of course.
Oh, where can we play?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is gonna be tough because I always want to play where like Idaho, places that don't have, like you look at North Dakota, South Dakota, Wyoming. But selfishly, I don't want to go there. So we have to have it someplace warm.
Yeah, you have to remember we do play bowl games in the middle of December, and I don't think I want to go to Montana in December.
No, but that would be it would be pretty. It would be so pretty.
It would be cold.
We would have to have our bowl game in probably not Utah, not Arkansas. Maybe we'd have it down by Aunt Ree. We'd go down by Aunt Ree in Elliott in Louisiana.
Nah.
But have it down there.
Nah.
You don't like that idea?
Nah.
Go have it in the desert, Nevada.
We're gonna have the Cheese Bowl up in Lambeau.
They already have the Cheez-It Bowl. You can't steal that.
Yeah, we could go craft singles, the craft single bowl.
Craft singles. All I think about is that they at these bowls they must give away like everybody gets a package of Cheez-Its. So you'd have to give everybody a craft single.
I went to the Outback. I've been to a bowl game. You haven't.
You didn't get a coupon for an Outback Steakhouse?
Absolutely not.
You did. You did too. Your dad probably got it. He probably kept it.
Nah, did not. Outback does. Outback does for the winning team. Like, so when I went, Iowa was coconut shrimp. You could go get like half priced or
really
for the day after the game. And in Florida, Wonderful, which they did, you could get like onion blossoms or something. So they give away like that, but that's for everybody. Anybody could do that.
Well, all I know is they should be like, what is it to Outback to give like $5 off a $30 purchase?
Yeah, nothing.
Like Kohl's Cash. That's what they should do. Give away Kohl's Cash.
Well, Kohl's doesn't have a bowl.
Kohl's could have a bowl. They should have the Target Bowl. Oh, they could. Oh my gosh. Could you imagine if they had like the Macy's Bowl? They have the Macy's Parade. Or like the Coach Bowl. Everybody could get like a coupon to get a new Coach bag. Michael Coors Bowl. I don't know. I think we're getting a little carried away.
Come up with the bowls. But like you said, it's early in the college football season, so we'll see how it pans out through the next couple of weeks.
It's too early to care this much.
Yeah, but we're going to jump over to the NFL side of things.
Okay.
I think there's two big storylines that come from the NFL this week. Obviously, one, Jon Gruden is no longer a head football coach in Vegas. And the other one is NFL kickers struggled this week.
Oh, they struggled so bad.
13 missed extra points. And we won't even talk about the Packers-Bengals game because that was just, what is going on?
It was. And you know what was interesting? I think ESPN, they jinxed all the teams. They did a segment before the game started on Sunday on doinks. They called it really? The doink. Yeah. And so it was like the doink was a woman's voice. And she's like, I ring loud and I ring proud. And then her brother, so she's the doink, the goalpost, but then her brother was crossbar.
Yeah.
And she goes, and then my brother helps me out with the double doink. It was like a 5-minute thing. It was kind of funny. And they made fun of the Bears when they had the double doink and some of the other teams when they doink and how loud it is.
Yeah.
So I didn't realize how loud the doink is because I just thought that was background noise from something else when it happens. But then on Sunday, all the doinks that happened, you heard them. It's like medieval. Somebody said that, and it totally is medieval. It's like boom.
Yeah, it vibrates the whole stadium.
Crazy. Like. That's crazy. Yeah. There was some issues there.
But yeah, so the kicking. I feel bad for Cincinnati's kicker the most because he thought he had won the game and started celebrating to only realize that he missed the kick.
That was kind of funny.
That's funny. That sucks for him. Like, I feel bad.
Really, yeah, I know. It's like, watch the film. Don't come. That's when you call in sick the next day. Don't
party. Yeah, don't party. Don't party too hard. But before we hit Jon Gruden, because we're obviously going to hit on that and what kind of implications that kind of goes around with
Yeah.
the NFL. I want to talk about a quarterback that you really like, and that's Patrick Mahomes.
Yes, I want to talk about him, but can I go back to kicking quick?
Yeah.
Did
Sorry,
you
I
see
did.
the Seahawks kick
Uh,
where Dixon kicked it and it got blocked? That was the Seahawks game, right? I'm looking at it got blocked. So he kicked. He was the
oh, he was the
kicker.
punter. Are you talking about
He
the
was the
punt?
punter. Yeah. Yeah. He
And
punted,
then
it
he
got
repunt,
blocked,
and then
and
he
they repunted
repunted.
it, and
Yeah,
it worked. And everybody, and they ran in, and everybody's like, oh, we can't do that. That's not the rules, the rules, the rules. They came back and they're like, nope, it's all good. Totally counts. That's awesome.
I did see
That's
that.
going to be like a trivia question somewhere. What kicker has not only has kicked the ball and received his ball,
And then
and
kicked
then
it again. Yeah, I did see
smart
that.
guy. Like, why wouldn't you? I mean, might as well try. So
Yeah, I saw that. I laughed at that.
yeah, that was funny.
Is there anything else you want to touch on before
No,
we jump into
I'm just looking
Patrick
at my
Mahomes?
I'm
Okay.
looking at my notes. Uh the oh I forgot. I forgot something from the week before, but we're gonna move forward in our conversation because I want to talk about Mahomes.
Yeah, your Mahomey boy is looking human.
Yeah, I know.
6 interceptions already this year. That's as many as he had all of last season. Like, he's
I
just not
I
looking
told
good.
no, I told Dad, I said somebody's got to sit down with him, and I mean this respectfully, like coming from an exercise science and a sports psychology mindset. There's something going on in his head. Like there's something going on in his head. He is throwing. His throws are so bad. They're so bad. He is missing. He is shooting at toes every time and in front. So what's on his mind? Like, and I think for him, it's probably all the psychology. It's a lot of pressure. I think I said it before. I think personal stuff. Before, when he was doing great, he did not have a baby. He did not have a wife. Life changes and you have to learn to adapt. But I honestly said somebody should check him for a concussion, or is he not wearing his contacts anymore? Like, what's the scoop here? I don't know. It was bad.
Yeah, I mean,
Still my guy though.
That could definitely. This is what I think the big difference is. So obviously Patrick Mahomes has gone to the last 2 Super Bowls. Really, the last 3 years he has been a fantastic quarterback. Kind of came out of nowhere.
Yep.
But I think you see this quite frequently with quarterbacks. Is they have good year after good year after good year, and then they drop off because defenses adjust to how they play. And I think Patrick Mahomes was a different style of quarterback. He's keeping the play line. He's chucking it back.
He froze.
I'm still talking. Did you freeze?
No, you froze, but now you're back.
Okay.
It was really cool because you were like,
yeah. I don't freeze on my screen. So when I might freeze on your screen, but I just keep talking because my screen's the one getting recorded. Okay. So it doesn't really matter.
That works.
But like I was saying, he comes in, he scrambles, he makes the most out of every play, does not want to give up any kind of play to throw it away.
Mm-hmm.
And it worked because it's tough for any kind of defense to stick with your receivers. And he's got a heck of an arm because he could have been a baseball player, and he can make the throws.
Could he have? He could have been a baseball player?
Yeah, he got drafted.
Shut up. By what team?
I forget.
Not the Royals.
No, I forget.
That would have been cool.
I forget what team he was drafted by, but I know he was.
Well, maybe he'll throw in the towel with football, go play baseball. You're looking it up?
Yeah, I'm looking up right now.
Okay, because it gets quiet. So for our Spotify listeners, they have to make sure that they.
Yeah, I always try to.
I'm just teasing. I just thought of that now because I know you're focused.
Yeah, let me see.
Well, I think what you're saying is right on point. And maybe, but then we have to think about the other quarterbacks. So you think defenses are learning his strategy and they're adjusting to it because they're watching films and he does the same stuff. He was that kind of sneak out of the pocket kind of guy, twist here, run here, throw.
Well, it's when Aaron Rodgers was the same kind of way. Is these quarterbacks keep the play on for so long, it's hard to guard a guy for 5-6 seconds. Like when he's running around all over the place, turns into like backyard football. Some guy's going to get open. But the defenses are adjusting how to play to that and how to attack that to where once Mahomes goes, you just stay. You have to lock onto your defender. And Mahomes is starting to throw the ball into double coverage. And where in the past he's gotten lucky and the ball's been getting caught so many times more than it didn't, to now it's getting intercepted. It's getting broken up and he's not making those plays. And I think that's just the big thing. And that's the reality.
Well, he's not even getting it to the receiver. He's not even getting it to him.
Yeah.
I mean, they're short. That's what I saw a lot on Sunday, is they were short.
So I think that's the big. I think the defenses are really adjusting to Patrick Mahomes style game, and I think there's a point where you can get out of that pocket and you can scramble, but I think there's a learning to start coming in on when's a good time just to throw it away. You don't see Brady running around out of the pocket. You don't see Rodgers doing it all the time. You don't see Russell. You don't see there's a time for it and time for not, but sometimes it's not worth chucking a ball 45 yards into double coverage to hope for that big play when you can just play for another down.
You can't keep playing for the headlines. Yeah. You want the headlines in the sports page. You can't do that. But here's my competitive
mindset.
Yeah, well, but that's ego. So let's check your ego at the door. It's a team sport. There's no I in team, a homie.
Except in the middle of the A.
That's very true. But so now you look at the quarterbacks you talked about. Brady. We'll talk about Karen. Talk about
Aaron. He's 4-1. It's not Karen.
He's got to come back. It's not until the end of November. 6 games, I said. He has to have 6 wins. Then I'll change over.
Yeah, okay.
To AA Ron.
Well, he's getting the 5th one against the Bears this weekend.
Oh.
Yeah, you totally froze.
I froze. You're frozen.
Yeah, you sounded.
I'm not frozen
today.
Okay, well, I'm back. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're back.
So my question is, when you have the other quarterbacks that play as long as they do, Brady and Karen, and let's even throw in like Peyton, what do they do differently? You're saying that they just stay in the pocket and they get protected, so they don't, or protected, so they're not really changing their game. If I was a quarterback and I was a coach, I'd be like, first of all, you know me, I'd be doing trick plays. That'd be so much fun. We'd be doing trick plays all the time. I love it when they pass it to somebody else and then somebody else throws it like they're the quarterback, or they do the little flea flicker. Love it. But I also would be like, okay, every year you got to kind of come up with a new strategy, because these guys if you stand here and these guys are lined up like that, they know what you're going to do. So you got to be creative. Is that what they do?
I just think what Patrick Mahomes is by far one of the most talented quarterbacks I've ever watched my whole entire life. And I don't want to bring that is in no doubt in my mind. But I think what separates the Bradys, the Favres, the Peyton, the Rodgers, the Drew Breeses, the Russells is between him and Mahomes. And Mahomes is young and he's got to look, is all the older quarterbacks. It was not about making that headline play on one down. It was about playing for the next down. It does no good to scramble and throw an interception when you could have stayed in the pocket, just threw it away and played for second down. Like, you know what I mean? And
you played safe.
That's what it's not about playing it safe. Forward. It's playing it smart. Look at what Favre's the only one that would ever do something dumb.
Favre did. And I mean, but he did it well. That's the thing is people from the outside
spin around circle, tuck it over.
Oh my God, run all over. Yeah. And throw it as he was getting tackled and going down on his side. And he would launch it for 60, 70 yards, who knows? Yeah. And somebody would catch it and run it in. And we learned as Packer fans to become accustomed to that kind of play. Like, that's how your quarterback should play. But
that's also why Brett Favre has the second most interceptions in NFL history. Or he might have the most. I forget if him or Eli have the most. He might have the most.
Interesting. I did not know that, but that would make sense.
Yeah, because he did stuff like that. But that's why you don't see Brady. You never saw Peyton. You never saw Rodgers. You don't see Russell. Russell probably runs out of the most, but you don't see Drew Brees, because these guys, it's all about knowing what you have to do to keep yourself in the game. Turnover doesn't help you. Throwing it away, there's nobody there. Well, let's sit down. Let's get our second down play, and let's go from there.
Right. And that's where I think it's Mahomes young, and he's got a little bit of an ego because it works so well the first 2 years.
Yeah.
And that's where he's now, somebody needs to sit down and say, doesn't work anymore. You got it. You have to stay in your pocket. You have to go. And I like your strategy. You're right. He needs to think, okay, not let's go long and try to get that amazing first down. Let's just work for the second or third down. Let's get it close enough to get a field goal. Let's just make sure we get some points on the board. Let's keep moving it forward.
You don't need to score on first down on a 65-yard. Having a 15-play, 75-yard drive where you convert some third downs is definitely an okay drive.
Yeah, well, you get points, and then a win is a win at the end of the game.
So I think it's just it's all about. I wouldn't say it's ego. I just think
I think it's ego's not a bad thing.
Sports are all about adapting, and I think it's you got to adapt. And he could adapt throughout this whole entire season, but I think this is kind of the first time in his career that he's kind of hit that roadblock because he's been playing for 3 years as a starting NFL quarterback, and it's worked. So everybody says if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Well, it's finally broke. It's finally broke.
And I don't think you can have that in sports. You can't say if it ain't broke, don't fix it. In sports, it's like anything. If you don't continue to get better and evolve, being stagnant, that's where that if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If you're stagnant, you're going to fail. If you're not moving forward and making progress, you're moving backwards and you're going to lose. So you got to be doing something. So,
but
Mahomes, hopefully this upcoming week he'll do better.
Yeah, but we're going to jump to another team in the AFC West, and that would be the Las Vegas Raiders, who are the first team to change head coaches this year. Big surprise. If you don't know what's going on, just because with Gruden, he was doing fine. Doesn't have a great record as a head coach, but he wasn't on a hot seat of getting fired. But last week, Sunday, a New York Times article came out with some reports about some conversations, emails 10 years ago with some of the verbiage of racial slurs, homophobic slurs, anti-gay slurs, like pretty much.
Well, against women. What was
there was and more is coming out, and this was not when he was a head coach. He was not a head coach at this time. He was actually, I believe, working for.
He was a commentator.
I don't know if was he a commentator in 2011?
Yeah, somebody said he was a commentator.
He was probably working for ESPN then because they knew he did their money. But he resigned. He did not get fired. He decided it was best for him to walk away from the game of football, so it wasn't a distraction to the Las Vegas Raiders. With that being said, no matter if he walks away, it's a distraction. Like
no kidding. When they do, they're like not a distraction. Well, now it's more of a distraction.
Yeah, like it's going to be a distraction no matter what. It's the same thing with Urban Meyer. Whole incident last week was, I don't want to be a distraction, so I'm apologizing and get out. No, it's a distraction no matter what. It's going to be the talk of the tables for the next 3 weeks.
You're giving it 3 weeks. I'm giving it longer than that, but.
Well, it all depends on something else. Like, I think it could be more just because who knows what's going to keep coming out. I mean, it just keeps getting more and more interesting.
Well, Gruden's his emails were discovered as part of another investigation that was not even related. I mean, it was not. He wasn't part of that investigation. It just happened that they confiscated a computer that had emails he had written, and so as they were reading those emails, they're like, "Whoa!" And what really bums me out about it, there's a lot of things that bum me out about it, but is that. When it first came out and they said one email, I'm thinking, what a moron. Like people don't think, like you can't fix stupid, you can educate ignorant, but come on, like think about who you are, who you represent, where you are in your career, who you influence.
Yeah, we talked about this with the Urban Meyer situation.
Oh,
like, these guys are leaders to young generations. You got to use your head.
I feel for Gruden's team. I mean, he has a team of all races and I mean, I'll say genders in the sense that because I'm sure there's people who don't identify as a male on the team.
He has the only openly gay player.
Okay, so that makes me even more mad. But then he also he stated things that were against women. Like really, he nailed it on all levels. And that's what's bad. And he did it over like 10 years. Like it's over a span, maybe not 10, 7 years. So this wasn't like a one email and it wouldn't be excusable if it was. But when you have one email that says something inappropriate and makes the comment, and that comment was, he was making a comment about somebody else's features, you would go, what an idiot. He absolutely needs to be punished. Something needs to come out of this. But then to find out there were years of emails that were like that. And he's a leader. That just, I mean, for him, I think right now he's going to end up as a Matt Lauer. He's going to ride off into the sunset. You will not hear about Gruden again. He will be, I mean, and what sucks about it, Will, is because what he did is terrible on a different globe, because so many people look up to him. He's a leader. I mean, so many people loved him as a person.
Yeah.
And now you're going to look at old Irvin over here that did the finger poke. And if people are going to forgive and forget that should be his equal. Like the Jaguars should be firing that coach. That is inappropriate. It's almost saying, well, it's okay to do that at a bar. That's okay. It's equally as bad as this, because of
the position they hold,
the leadership, the respect. You can't act like a dickhole. I'm sorry. You just can't. Yeah. Jaghole. That's what I'll say. I'll clean up, Bree. Sorry about that.
A Jaghole because it was a Jaguars coach.
Yeah. Well, I said something first, but you can't. You have to think. Like, and that's where people then, I think they just think they're above everything. You know, Dad and I will talk about that. We've talked about when people get to a certain level in fame, and it can happen anywhere. You can be a president of a company in a local, town, and you suddenly think you're above the law. You suddenly think you have influence and you can, shoulder. Yeah. No.
No, I agree. With this all coming out, the Urban Meyer stuff, did I think he was getting fired? No. Do I think he should? Absolutely. What he did was inappropriate, was, a disgrace to the NFL community, NFL in itself, and even the Jacksonville Jaguars organization. And personally, if I'm the owner, I don't want that kind of leader, that kind of guy who thinks that's okay to be running my team and be a leader in my organization. And that's why I think,
because
Gruden was fired as soon as even that one email, he was gone. In the world we live in today, there is no way that could have ever stayed.
Well, it's unacceptable. It's unacceptable it's just unacceptable. It is very unacceptable
for anybody to say anything, do anything. Because I think, like you said, sometimes these NFL coaches think they're a little higher than the world, and that they think they're the top dog because they're NFL coaches, which is true. They definitely hold a little more leeway and a little more swagger than I do, even though I'm in charge.
Well, they'll get a free dinner at a restaurant. You won't.
Yeah, exactly. But
unless you dine and dash.
But you have to, they're still humans. They're still people.
That is where they. Yeah.
And do I think a lot of stuff is said behind closed doors? Absolutely. I think
we'd be stupid to say
both sides, all sides, 8 sides, 9 sides, everybody says stuff. That's not going to change. Just because it's not.
Well, you can't control.
Yeah, it's the world we live. But what you should be able to control is what you say on the internet. Everybody knows what you put on the internet. You email, you post, you tweet, you comment, like. It's there forever. Even if you delete it, people can find it. And definitely nowadays where people enjoy digging up dirt to really gaslight.
Unless you're Hillary. I'd find Hillary's people. Just kidding.
But nowadays you have people who can find that stuff just to do this, just to get this information out here, just to tell how bad somebody is. Like they enjoy doing it, which I get. What's wrong with those kind of people? Like, how do you enjoy your day digging up dirt and making the world?
I just think that's sad. That's not making the world a better.
But with that being said, you got to just be careful. Like, you have to be smarter. And Gruden was not smart. He is paying the price for it. I think you're right. He will ride off into the sunset. You will not hear from him again. He will never coach again. He will never be on any kind of ESPN broadcasting, anything.
Nope.
He has no chance. Granted, luckily he's got enough money. I think he'll be financially okay.
Well, until the lawsuits start in. But yeah, the thing that sucks about this is people
he'll be fine. He'll be fine because he resigned So I bet you he's still getting all the benefits from the Raiders.
Well, he's smart. I mean, yeah, you're going to do that contractually, fine. But people, I told Dad, I said, it sucks because it's like when Tiger Woods and all that stuff came out. It's like now you see they have this great front because they know how to act. So part of what, we say is know how to act in public, know what to say, what not to say. But you want people to be true to who they are. And that was true to who he was.
Yeah, that's
So
the kind
all
of
of
person he was.
that acting, which to me, that defines a character. So to me, if I was his wife, I'd be like, well, if that's what you think and if that's what you can hide, then what else is going on in our life that I don't know about? That because he's not a good person.
Yeah, the things he said were just morally and unacceptably wrong. No matter, you should,
not right.
Yeah, you shouldn't talk about.
But Irvin's the same way. The only thing I can think of the benefit of Irvin staying as coach is hopefully his wife is getting a really good attorney and keep him working and get alimony and get half of everything for like years. Like make that divorce agreement be like the next 10 years you get half of his income plus alimony, whatever. You get the beach house because that's the only good thing that come out of it. But that's what I think makes me so mad, Will, with this stuff is they are both actions. They're both unacceptable actions. They both say something about the character of a leader. One of them, we jump on like crazy because of the time we're in.
Mm-hmm.
And appropriately so. The other one, we kind of like, well,
yeah, we'll push it.
He was at a bar.
It was his bar.
It was drinking. A woman, and they were drinking. Really?
Who cares?
No. Accountability.
Yeah.
Actions. Yeah, I could go on and on. I cannot excuses for actions, but it sucks because I think the other thing it does is it helps the rest of us that are just the minions in the world really remember that words hurt. Thoughts on paper can hurt. So just be human.
Be nice. Be nice to each other.
Be nice. Like, what's wrong with being nice?
Yeah.
And go to a bowl game because there's like 35 of them to choose.
But that's really what we're going to talk about the NFL. The games were good this week, but definitely those are the big highlights.
You think it's going to be you think that's going to really affect the Raiders this upcoming week?
I do.
You do.
Anytime you lose a head coach and you get a little coaching change.
And
it's not like, he got fired and now you have that kind of, I want to play for this new guy. Like, no, like there's going to be a lot of probably talks going on in the locker room. Cause I'm guessing we're going to hear some stuff come up about stuff that was probably said in the locker room.
Yeah.
Stuff that Gruden did while he was coaching and things he said to players that you in the moment, it's like, okay, but now with you getting all this stuff, it's going to be like,
with all the other content.
Whoa, this is not okay. You already have some ESPN analysis who have made comments on stuff. You're going to have former players getting asked. So I think it's going to be a huge distraction this week. I would not expect them to win this week. But that's life. That's what he did to this team, what he did to the organization.
Well, he did it to himself. And I mean, I always say for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. And you can't do things, you can't move through life without impacting somebody else in some way.
Yeah.
Like, even if you don't think you are. It's a trickle-down effect that takes place. So you have to just be smart in the sense that what I do today may impact somebody I don't even know tomorrow. And it's we touch each other all the time in what we do.
Whoa, watch that language.
Yeah, don't touch anyone.
But
wash your hands.
With that being said, we are going to jump to the picks.
Lots of jumping. I have bad knees. Okay. The picks for this week?
Well, what was our record last week, Mom? How did we do?
I don't have a clue. I kept my Post-it note though.
Okay. Well, let me
lose it.
So you release. You tell me who
I release.
Yeah, you release.
Okay. So NFL. We had Dolphins and Bucks. Bucks won. Tampa
Yep.
Bay.
Yep.
We both picked that. Rams and Seahawks.
The Rams won.
Rams won. So we both picked Seahawks.
Okay.
Lose.
So we're 1-1. 1-1.
Lions and Vikings. You picked Vikings. You won.
Yep. So I'm 2-1. You're 1-2.
Bears and Raiders. I picked the Bears. I won.
So we're each 2-2.
Okay. Packers and the Bagels.
Yeah.
Packers and the Bengals. Packers won. You won.
We
both won.
Yeah.
Because I picked the Packers because of Kathy being the cheerleader.
We're both 3-2.
Okay, good. And then picked based on, never mind. And then college, we had Texas and Oklahoma. We both won that one.
Okay, 4-2.
Oklahoma. We had Michigan and Nebraska. I picked Nebraska. You picked Michigan.
So I'm 5-2. You're 4-3.
I'm glad you're keeping these numbers. Penn State and Iowa. We both picked Iowa.
So I'm 6-2. You're 5-3.
Ohio State and the Turtles. We both picked Ohio State.
So I'm
Maryland.
7-2, and you're 6-3.
And Vanderbilt. And who would they play? Florida. Oh, yeah. The Vanderbilt and Florida. We both picked Vanderbilt. Or Florida. Shit. We didn't know what a Vanderbilt was. Oh, and a Commodore. I was thinking that's not a musician. That's a Commodore, like a commander. Aunt Reed taught me that.
Okay.
And
so
Conquistador. No, wait. I think that's a bullfighter. Never mind.
Yes,
Anyways, Troubadour. That's a musician.
Yes.
That's the George Strait.
So
and then
Florida.
Navy and...
So Florida won, so I'm 8-2, and you're 7-3.
And then Navy and SMU, which I said incorrectly on our last podcast several times. I picked Navy. You picked SMU.
Yeah, let me get that. Who would you pick?
I picked Navy. I stayed true to our armed forces.
Navy lost by 7, so you would finish 7-4. I picked our SMU, so I finished 9-2.
What a week.
What a week. Busy week.
Okay, here we go. Got new picks. Ready?
Let's hear it.
First of all, I want to say that the game that was played in London with the Jets and the Falcons, stupid. Don't play football in another country. Play it in our country. Because when I wake up in the morning on a Sunday morning, I have my routine. I get my coffee. I listen to some pre-NFL football stuff from 8 to 9. Then I have NFL Sunday that starts at 9. But no, I'm going through and they're like, you may like this game. It's on NFL Network. And I'm like, nah, it's trying to screw me. This is an old game. $10. This is an old game.
You're watching a replay.
But it wasn't. It was a real game.
I just laughed. Well, first off, you should never live on the West Coast then.
Well, when I was out there visiting Kate in San Francisco years ago, that is so weird to have like a 3 o'clock, 3:30 game.
NFL starts at 10 a.m. College football will start at 9.
Yep.
Be so much fun. You wake up and there's football on.
It was. You basically, but you have to start tailgating like before the sun comes up. Though.
Hey, that's fine by me, but.
So that was dumb. Okay, so right now my picks.
Let's hear the games. All right, hey, wait. First, before we pick, did you choose to pick games in any certain way?
Yes.
Today?
I can't find my pen, so you might have to. I thought I brought a pen down here, but
I don't have a pen with me.
I don't have it. Let me see if I got a pen. Nope. Got a straw. Okay. Well, you got to write this down. No.
I don't have a pen on me, Mom.
Well, that's okay. Well, what in the world? None of us are prepared. We'll have to just replay this and listen. It's okay, Will.
Okay. I'll put it on my phone.
Well, honey, it's recorded. We can listen to it in a day. It'll be fine.
Right. Okay, let's hear it.
Okay. So there was some strategy with NFL, but there wasn't. First of all, I was just going to pick these two, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Eagles.
Tampa Bay.
Okay. Me too, Tampa Bay. Okay. Now the other 3 teams I chose because they have the exact same, not score.
Mascot?
No.
Record?
Where they're at, right? Record. Thank you. I couldn't think of the word. Mascot's good, though. I should have looked for that. Record. So, Chiefs and Washington, they're both 2-3-0.
2 and 3.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go.
And because they have no ties.
I'm gonna go with. I think
no kickoffs.
I think Patty Mahomes gets it done this week. I keep riding the Patty Mahomes
Mahomie. I would.
I'm hoping
Stick with
for
Mahomie. He'll get it straight.
He'll get it figured out, but I trust him.
Plus, that team has a name that isn't stupid. So,
and as we learned, it's not hard to come up with a team name. So
it's not. We should give them some of our thoughts. Okay, next team, Texas and the Colts, which I thought was cool because you have like horses in both of them. 1 and 4.
The
both
Rangers
teams.
Or the Houston
Texans.
Oh, the Texans. Okay.
Oh, what I said Texas.
Yeah,
Texans
I'm taking the Colts.
Are you?
Yeah.
I forget that the Texans are a team because they used to be the Oilers, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Texans. I'll go with the Colts too because that used to be Peyton's old team.
I was about to tell you some information. The Texans are where that quarterback who has a bunch of sexual misconduct allegations. Yeah. He's on that team.
Yeah, we're not picking the Texans then. What's wrong with people? Cheapers. Okay, Chargers and the Ravens both are 4 and 1.
Yeah, and I'm taking the Chargers. I love Justin Herbert.
You are?
Yeah.
I see. I'm going to take the Ravens. They've been doing really well.
Yeah,
and now that I know what a Raven is, I feel like I could go with that team.
It's a fake.
Thank you, Aunt Ree. Okay, so and then the big game. The big game.
Go, Pat, go.
Karen Rodgers running through the fields. Who's going to go?
Karen Rodgers is no longer Karen Rodgers. He hasn't been Karen Rodgers about 3 weeks. He left Karen down Karen got left down in Jacksonville against the Saints. Aaron decided to show up in Green Bay, and Aaron has been leading this Packers team to a good 4-1 record. So go, Pat, go.
All I hear is wah, 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 wah. Charlie Brown. Bears. It'll be fun.
Bear down.
I think Bears. That always.
Dude, who's calling plays? Who's calling plays for the Bears? Your offensive coordinator, Laser, calling plays again this week?
I don't know who called them last week.
Your offensive coordinator. He's called them the last 2 weeks for Fields. That's why they've been playing so good.
Okay, well, yeah. Then I'm gonna say yes. I really don't know. I want it to be a good game.
Yeah, that's fair.
I really, personally, I think the Packers are gonna win, but I think Fields. I think it'll be good for him to get out there and play with such a legend like Karen. Okay. Now the college we have some. These are teams I picked because they go together, like rice and water, like the moon and the stars. So we're gonna see. You pick which one wins. They go together.
This should be interesting this week. This is really gonna be interesting.
Maybe the first ones don't go together that well, but. But I thought it would be a good fight if it ever happened.
Okay.
The Gators and the Tigers. Oh, I didn't write down the real team.
Which Tigers? Florida could be played like 4 different Tigers.
I think it was. Isn't that Clemson? The Tigers.
Yeah, but they're in the ACC. You could have LSU.
Oh, I gotta see if Auburn. I can bring them up.
I'll pull it up right now. I got them right.
College football. Hold on.
I might have them right LSU.
The Auburn Tigers. No.
They LSU.
Oh wait. Yeah, the LSU Tigers and the Gators. Okay. All right. Oh, I lost you. Crap.
I'm still here.
Okay. So the Gators and the Tigers. Who do you think? Think the Gators are going to chomp them?
Chomp them down.
I do too now because I think Coach O has got to go. So no longer an LSU fan.
Coach O's got to go.
Coach O's got to go. Okay. Next one. This goes together. Oklahoma Cowboys versus the Texas Longhorns. Rally them up, lasso them up.
Yeah, so much of me wants to go with Oklahoma State. They're undefeated in the Big 12 this year, looking pretty tough. But let me tell you right now, no way Texas loses again after last week. That was an embarrassment. They're at home, so I'm going to hook them, baby. Hook them up. Yeah. Go Texas.
Go Texas. So I am saying Texas too. I think that they're going to fuck them right off.
Yeah.
Fuck those Cowboys off. Okay. Next one is the Miami Hurricanes versus the North Carolina Tar Heels. What the heck's a Tar Heel? But I figured you'd have to, if you're going to be in a hurricane, it'd be a really good idea to have a Tar Heel or Tar Heels to keep you put. So that's why I thought that'd be a good game. Like, that's going to be tough.
I'm taking North Carolina.
Me too. I don't like Miami. They can suck it. Okay, Tar Heels.
The U.
Tar Heels, by the way, what the hell's a Tar Heel? That's a stupid name.
Go to your teacher and have her give her a...
Oh, Aunt Real clue us in. But once again, Washington, you can come up with a name. Let's do this. Okay, next one. Auburn Tigers. I'm getting tongue twisted. Versus the Arkansas Razorbacks. Yeah. And Razorback is a pig.
Yeah, I knew that.
Wild boar. I'm going with the pigs. They're nasty.
So am I. They looked good last week.
Yeah, they'll tear that tiger up. They got those little horns going on.
Bo Nix is terrible for good old Auburn.
Yeah, don't know. I'm just picking them because the mascot is going to kick their butt. So
nice.
Okay, and the last one. We are looking at University of Kentucky Wildcats.
Yeah, the Kentucky Wildcats do not have that kind of Southern accent, so I think we should relax for the Wildcats. Georgia, you could go with the accent, but Kentucky's from Kentucky.
My accent is if you've been there when my accent turns like Australian and then like it turns like French, it goes back and forth. Versus the Georgia Bulldogs.
Georgia all the
way. That'd be a great cat fight. Come on, cat fight.
Georgia comes into this game at home versus Kentucky, both 6-0. Georgia's 22.5-point favorites, so I'm going to ride with the number one team in the country and go Bulldogs.
A lot of information, and I was going to go with I'm going with the Cats.
Yeah, take the L already. Just put it down as a loss for you. Hey, I'm hoping. I'm picking the Bulldogs because I'm smart with my picks, but I want Kentucky to win because if Kentucky wins and Georgia loses, guess who's going to be the number one team in the country next week?
The Badgers.
The Iowa Hawkeyes. And what that means, and guess what that means? Because they put Purdue this weekend.
Bill's going to school.
That means Iowa plays this weekend and Purdue, they win. Georgia loses. Iowa goes to the number one team. Iowa has a bye week. And then they travel to Madison the week after that. So I would get to say I watched the number one ranked Iowa Hawkeyes play football.
At your Badger game. Did you get your overalls?
No, they're all sold out. Pissed.
You want to paint some? Just go to Farm and Fleet.
I'm
just got to get some overalls. You could paint stripes on the overalls. Just use clothing paint.
I'll buy some sometime.
Go to Amazon. Why don't you go to Amazon?
I checked everywhere.
Well, put a message out on Facebook or Snap or whatever you kiddos use nowadays. Yeah. You youngsters, whippersnappers.
Whatever. But
all right. Well, that's my picks. Ta-da-da!
And that is another edition of Mom Picking Games. I think I kind of like Mom Picking Games. I think we have a different variety of games, and it has some excitement on how we pick games. We don't really picking the mainstream. But
you got to have some rationale. I can't do it with all the stats and the
I
don't know all that.
But that is all the time that we have here on this episode 10 of Wake Up with Will, Mom Edition. Mom, we talk a long time, long episodes, long time.
Yeah, it's a big day.
Car rides.
It's double digits. So,
but we thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. We thank our loyal listeners.
Sponsors, Owen, is that what you were going to say?
Yes, all our sponsors, all our loyal listeners. Owen, Aunt Ree, Uncle Elliot, we appreciate you three.
Laura, my cousin Brian and his wife Kathleen, one of them, they share a Facebook name. They listened.
Hey.
So thank you.
Like I said, everybody, we appreciate all the listens. Congratulations to David Coyer of the DDT show. I was on their podcast last Friday. I
never got that link.
Yeah, it's on Twitter. I can send it to you, but
never going to get it then.
He just got a full-time position, or he's got an announcing position. He's heading down to Texas this upcoming weekend to announce some junior hockey down there. So congratulations on finding that job and advancing your broadcasting career.
And not going back to live with your parents. Goals.
Mom, I decided to maybe go to school instead. So goals.
Okay.
But that is all the time to you. Keep checking us out on Facebook. We have our personal. Twitter's the big one. Feel free to tweet at us anytime. Tweet at me, tweet at my mom. I run both. And
Yeah.
have a great rest of your day. It's gonna be a good day. So goodbye, everybody.
Bye.